How many of you are using the ATM system? How many of you use the system, add tag message, right now to build your network marketing business? And for those of you that don't know, ATM, very simple. How many of us are creating curiosity? We're creating conversations, right? We have people on our team promoting the products, promoting the opportunity. And then when someone says, I am open, I am interested, what's the company, what's the product? We simply add them to the group. We tag them in the information. That's it, we ATM. I can only physically do so many calls. I can only physically travel to so many places and sit down and meet people. With ATM, add tag message, you can literally build a global business, make money in your sleep once you systemize it, once you duplicate this within your organization. And that is exactly what Darik has done. Really excited to have you. And obviously you're a stud, you're crushing it. You built this incredible business, but tell us a little bit about the backstory real quick, like Cliff Notes version. You know, you were in a company, how you were building, the level of success you were having, what you saw, and why you were like, we need to figure out a better way to duplicate success. So excited to have you on. And for those of you that don't know Darik, you're going to love his story. Super motivated dude. And also, again, very inspiring because he's helped a lot of others have success. And I want to show you what's possible. And Darik has truly gone out and you know, hit the top ranks, had massive success. But again, he's helped a lot of people. So
I got in the industry in 2012, going on 2013, and I was still at university. And how I was taught when I got involved, there was no real system, there's no strategy. I didn't join a company where it was about you do A, B, C, and D, and you create success. It was a very robust system where it was fill people up into your house. We have a video, and it was like a 2-minute video that didn't explain anything at all. And then get up in front of everyone and tell them your story. And in my mind, I was like, well, what if I don't have a story? Like, I just joined. Like, what do I say? They go, well, then talk about it to someone else and let them talk for you. And I thought, okay, well, what if I don't have anyone that can do that? Because I joined in Hawaii. So all of my like upline leaders, they were all around the world on the mainland. I didn't have anyone to go to. And they're like, well, you could, you know, get them on a Skype call and have them HDMI in. And in 2012, it would be worse than how I looked at the beginning of this call. They'd only hear every other word and like no speakers in a college. Like it was not going to work. So really through like sheer grit with myself, my partner Cameron, and I had the partner Kanoa, we built a very, very large organization of thousands of people, but there was no actual system. And so after that company dissolved, I was really burnt out. I told a story about how when I was like 22 years old, I had a team starting to grow in Czech Republic. And I was like, okay, that team's growing, I gotta go. So I flew all the way to Czech Republic, and all the kids on the team were like 16, 17, 18 years old, but they were producing. And I stayed in Czech Republic for 2.5 weeks working with these guys, running all around Czech Republic, Slovakia, building with these guys with no system, speaking at events, the people would sign up. And then I got home, we enrolled maybe a couple hundred people. And then in 3 to 4 months, that 100 people that joined all left, and it led to new people that weren't in Czech Republic that I went and worked with. So it was a hamster wheel. It was a revolving hamster wheel. It's totally exhausting. But
it's like a cool story for later. But when you're in it, you're like, dude, why am I here? Like, am I going to survive this? I mean, like some random country. Technology back then wasn't what it is today. That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it was a really cool story to tell sitting here, but back then the story sucked. But here's the thing that I realized personally in network marketing and in this industry and any sales in general, I realized that there's a 3-step process that anyone has to go through from becoming a skeptic about your opportunity to becoming a superstar in your organization. And the 3 questions go in this order. Does what you're offering actually work? If it does work, why is it working for people? And if you know why it's working, how can it work for me in my life? So I knew that was the phases, but I thought, man, it's so exhausting to be able to get those questions answered, because if you're new in the industry, you had the strategy that I had back when I joined, you're going to have to like have someone, let's say I take John to a coffee shop and I go, hey, this company's amazing, these products are great, you got to check it out. Well, if I don't have any results, John's not going to think it works. I just lost John. And your warm market when you join, a lot of people think is the most important thing. But if I hypothetically, when I saw John didn't go to Starbucks and I took him to a live event 5 minutes from my house with 400 people, great fireworks on stage, speakers coming up, John would know that it works, why it works, and how it can work for him. But here's the thing. The reality is we don't all have massive events with our company in our backyard. We don't have massive events that allow people to see how real it is right next to our house. So we can't use that. So I thought, what if there was a way where I could get my team to get people to see that it worked, that our opportunities weren't shady. They're all legitimate. They're great opportunities, but they can do it from the comfort of their house. And I didn't have an answer to that. And when I reconnected with John, over the years, I took a break from the industry and he showed me the success him and Nadya had. I was like, okay, dude, let me get this straight. You've like 20x'd your income. You're not traveling anywhere unless you want to go. You're speaking to teams, but from the comfort of your house, and you're doing it all through social media, and it's duplicating. I was like, dude, I'm a sponge. And he explained to me the idea of ATM, and he explained to me what it was. And I thought, wow, like, okay, we can make that work. And I had spent maybe a year prior to that spending more time on social media, learning more about groups and funnels and stuff, which you don't need to be techie to make this system work. You don't at all. You just have to have a social media profile. That's all you need. And then to be coachable. And so I kind of took what he had done with his company and thought, okay, I'm going to duplicate his strategies, kind of like a DJ, take what I like, leave what I don't, but everything he had, I liked. I showed it to my leaders, said, hey, do you guys think we could run this play? They took the ball, said, let's run with it. And that was in around 2018. And from then till now, I went from leaving the industry at zero on one team, zero on the other, to at one point we had close to 13,000 people in our group. It's done my account over 7 figures in commissions from 2018 till now. We've done it all from the comfort of our house. We run events, but we run retreats. So we've done retreats in Greece. We've done retreats in Mexico. We have a retreat in Tenerife at the end of January, which is Coral Islands, which is like north of Morocco. We're going to run an event for my team. And we build everything in our Facebook groups, in our community groups, all on social media. And it's just been a blessing for me because now that I'm 30, I want to have a family. I'm married. Like my life is not as crazy where I can just go get on a plane tomorrow and travel to Czech Republic. So it's given me stability and it's given me structure where the people on my team, not everyone follows our system, but the ones that do, they see growth. And that's all I've ever wanted is if you want to apply, you'll see success. If you don't want to do the commitments and do the work, that's fine, but you can't blame anyone but yourself. And it's become a very great black and white dynamic where it's not a gray area if you're not successful. You don't have to go add tons of people to your house and have a bunch of product demos. You just have to be online and build a presence online and drive people. And so that's made it very simple and it's made it amazing for myself.
You can see who's working. You can see who's actually doing the steps. They're taking action and they're focused on activity. And that activity is creating conversations, creating curiosity. Whether you lead with the product, lead with the business, your whole goal is to get people in the groups, to tag them in a video, tag them in the information. And then from there, it's just, the fortunes and the follow-up, right? So you're nurturing those relationships, you're following up, you're answering questions, you're introducing them in a group chat to your upline. And it really is, and it's amazing too, because I get people reaching out to me, asking me questions on my own team, people in other companies. And when I tell them what I do, I'm like, I create conversations, I create curiosity. Either people ask me what I do or I ask them if they're open. Either way, it's the same steps. I put them in the group and tag them in the stuff, tag them in the products, tag them in the business opportunity video, which is like 12 minutes. And then I put them in a group chat, introduce them to other people, and then I answer questions and I close business. And they're like, are you serious? That's it? Like, yeah, that's it. They're like, I'm totally overcomplicating this. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And by the way, that's human nature, right? We feel like we need to know everything before we do anything. And we feel like there's all these things. And here's part of the problem. And I was just talking to another leader on our team about this. And part of the problem is there's all these tools now. There's all these different social media platforms. There's all these different strategies. You got live video, TikTok, Reels, stories, and it gets overwhelming for people. And they think either A, this is too much. I can't do this. I can't do what you're doing, John. I can't do videos. I can't do Reels. I can't do TikToks. I can't do this. I can't do that. Or people are like, I'm going to do all these things. And then they're so caught up in trying to figure all the things out. They're not focused on the basic steps to success, which is, like you said, adding people to the groups, tagging the information, and really going back to the simplicity piece of our business. This is why people get involved in network marketing. This is why people love this type of profession. If they find a company they really believe in, a product or service they really believe in, then really the rest is just a numbers game. We don't want to treat people like a number. We don't want to have commission breath, but it is a numbers game. If you're only talking to one person a week, you're not going to sign up 10. It's just the way it goes. But it really is mastering the mundane. And the top people, like I out recruit my entire team every year, every month. There are some months where there's some people that beat me, but I'm just creating more conversations than them. I'm adding more people to the groups than them.
Sure.
What are you seeing out there when it comes to the ATM system? Like the people that are crushing it the most, they're adding the most people to the groups, the ones that are consistently growing, consistently producing. What is it that they are doing? Because again, I know the ATM system is awesome. You guys have crushed it, but that's just the exposure process. What does that look like? What are your best people doing, the consistent producers? Talk about that.
Our business is very results driven because our results really are the sauce of what gets people to want to come through the door. And so like we put a lot of emphasis on just getting customers in, like actually having conversations with customers. And I think in this industry, the challenge is that people start and then they talk to like 3 or 4 people and then they get a couple no's and then they don't know what to do next. And I think we've all been there where like you're sitting at your house or you're like, oh, I'm going to go get some work done. And you're scrolling on your group chats or your Facebook, seeing who's online right now. And you don't even know where to begin. You get too intimidated. And like with us, our whole thing has been like, okay, do you have the ability to add someone to a group? Like just that alone. Like, are you capable enough to add someone to a group? Are you capable enough to send a person a message on your phone with your voice? Like, yes, I am. If you're capable enough to do that, then do that 30 times. And if you do that a bunch, you're going to get into a rhythm of like not busyness, but productive activity. And so like we're always trying to create these segments of productive activity with our groups so that no one is in a position where they're just sitting there like, oh, I have paralysis and I'm overanalyzing every single situation and they don't know where to start. Our whole thing is like, how can you just as fast as possible get into a rhythm where like for you and I, we can wake up in the morning and we have so many notifications on our phone. We have to like, before we begin, like have a cup of coffee, like go on a run and then like enter into the world of like building your business. But someone brand new doesn't have that when they first start. So getting into that rhythm where you're like, wow, like people want to get on calls. I added 10 people, 3 of them responded. They want to learn more information. When you get into that groove, then it becomes fun because you feel like you're being pulled to serve people. Like that's the biggest thing. When you don't feel like you're in that rhythm, you feel like you're not really adding any value to people. What you're doing doesn't matter. It's not as important. So you have to increase your reps so you can feel pulled in because that's where the emotion kicks in because these businesses are built on emotion. They're built on excitement. They're built on enthusiasm. And so the teams in my organization that are killing it the most, the teams in my organization that are crushing it the most, it's really simple. Like they're having fun. Like they're really enjoying the process. A lot of people, they think that need to use a million different platforms. You just need to use the platform that gives you the most for what you give back. So like if it's Facebook for you, or if you post or you share, you get the most amount of messages and the most amount of engagement, double down on that platform instead of trying to rebuild all these different things. If you've already spent years on one thing, build into that and pour into that because that's where the most people see you. And then also the other thing about ATM that's so unique, and people don't talk about this enough in my opinion, is that the whole idea of this industry is kind of reversed. And what I mean by that is you have top earners go, you can live the life of your dreams. You can live how you want to live. But in order to do that, there's like the whole then motivation side. You got to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for your whole life. And if your upline is in Greece enjoying themselves for a week, then screw them. Like they're not working hard and you're making them money and like yada, yada. So then there's like this parallel, right? The whole idea behind this industry, why we got into this industry is so that we can control our time. So if you want to work hard on a day and grind your face off, you can do that and go to bed feeling fulfilled that you worked hard and then spend the next day in Greece kicking it with your wife, right? Like I'm in a season of my life now where I want to have a family. I want to be able to relax because of the time that I put in, but other times I want to work hard and put in the time and put in the energy. So the whole idea, I think, in this industry is it's designed to live the life you want to live. You don't have to go make billions of dollars. You have to build it around your lifestyle. And then as you build it around your lifestyle, people will see the way you live, not what you say. And they'll want to inquire about how you've been able to do that, right? And so what you have to really find
can I point this out too?
Yeah.
You pointed something that's really important because sometimes we get it twisted, right? We think that that's the key to, making money, building a big business, right? You got to flex that hustle, muscle, discipline, sacrifice. And that is true. But if that's all you do forever, right? You talked about like 5 to 5 or 8 to faint, right? That's what we used to call it. But yeah, 8 to faint. But the problem was people would see that stuff and they're like, yeah, I want to make money, but like my kids and my family are more important to me, right? And it also obviously depends on where you're at, the demographic you're attracting. Like a lot of the people, obviously within our organization, it's a lot of moms, it's a lot of, families, people with kids, whatever. And if they see that like you're working 24/7 and you're not enjoying your life and you're not going to your kids, sporting events or whatever that looks like, they go, yeah, that's cool. You're making money, but like, I want to be, at my kids' games. And actually just, recently I had multiple conversations with leaders, people from other companies. And, that was one of their biggest things. It's like, hey, John, I see you and Nadya, you're always traveling, you're with your kids, you're with your family, you work from home, you go to your son's baseball games. Like, that's what I'm attracted to. you know? And
Yeah.
I remember Ray Higdon said one time, like, you know, a lot of people feel like in network marketing, you have to have an or life where you're either rich, top earner, super successful, massive team, massive business, or you're at home with your family. You're a good dad or a good mom, wife, whatever. And we can have an and life, right? We can get rich and have lifestyle and have freedom and have all the things and put our kids to bed. Like, why can't you have both? Now, again, it depends on where you're at in your life, your season. We had kids at 23. So we started super freaking young. But immediately I started realizing when my son got to be about 6, 7 years old, I'm like, yo, I'm out every night doing meetings, every weekend doing meetings. I'm never home. I feel like I'm chasing the almighty dollar. I don't have a lot of duplication and retention. Put 7,000 people in this deal in 7 years, and it was a freaking grind. And I look back and I'm like, you know, because time exposes us or promotes us. And I look back and I'm like, I got nobody winning. I got nobody even making $1,000 a month, and I'm sacrificing all that? Hell no. I'm either going to find a way to make money from home, or I'm just going to get out of network marketing. And thank God for Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook groups, right? We started using these Facebook groups to expose people to the opportunity and the products. And when we saw the growth, we saw the duplication, we saw that people were winning. And by the way, you could still do the offline things, but maybe not do it every single night. Maybe not be, you know, on the road every weekend or on a plane all the time, and just have that healthy balance where you can build online and offline, right? You can support people that want to work from home, like at least have a system in place so that that's even a possibility.
And I'll never forget, we started seeing success following the ATM system when we started duplicating and growing. And we're like, wow, like our teams are building. We're able to take a day off, a weekend off, whatever, and they're not quitting. They're still duplicating, and our teams are still growing and finding success. And we were like talking about things we want to do. It's like, we want to run a retreat. Like, we want to have fun. And we're not, I'm not talking about just like a mastermind where you're sitting there taking notes for like 8 hours a day. Like, let's go on a catamaran. Like, let's go on a ship. Like, let's go have fun. Let's go to the beach. So we did a retreat in Greece with our groups, and like we had the most fun for like 5 or 6 days with all of our great friends, and we just all documented it on social media. We created really good content, amazing marketing videos. So we built all this online social media. All the people that were there were documented online. So we're having a fun time, but in the online world where all of our prospects live, they're going, I want to do that stuff. That looks so amazing. And then after that, within like 30 to 60 days, all the people that went on that trip, they're all rank advancing because they had so many people reaching out and going, man, I see the videos you're posting from that experience. I see how much of an awesome time you're having from that experience. I want to be a part of a community like that. And I remember getting on Zoom with my boys at one point, my business partners, and I pop in up like the back office. I'm like, dude, we're at $100,000 a month now. Holy crap. How did that even happen? And we're like freaking out because we've been having more fun than we ever could have imagined and seen our business grow. And that being said, I want to make a disclaimer. How we've gone to this point is we've experienced a lot of adversity, a lot of hardship. We've worked with a lot of people that have left our business. John said something on a call 2 weeks ago that I thought was so profound. He said, the organization that I have right now that has made me, a multimillionaire, the majority of those people came in from someone else who's no longer here. So it's a fizzle process, and that's what this industry is. But when you have systems that allow you to get the right people, it gets you a lot of clarity on who to focus with. So even my organization, there's people in my organization, they just complain all the time. They just like, they have a bad week, and then like, they're like, oh, I don't want to work today. I don't want to build the business. I'm going to think about other stuff. And then they have a good week and they're fired up again. And that emotional, like back and forth, that ping pong, I'm like, hey, you can be emotionally playing ping pong. I'm going to just keep swimming in the direction that I know I want to go. And then I have other people in my business where sometimes things don't work perfect in a week like everyone else in the world, but it doesn't change their trajectory. And so every time I've focused on those people who aren't emotionally playing ping pong, but they just stay the course, my business always flourishes. Because even if it's 5 people that are staying the course and 500 that are playing ping pong, I know based off of being in this industry for 10 years, if I can focus on those 5, they'll lead me to 5,000. And the ping pong players can play ping pong all day they want, or all they want, and I'll just keep doing my thing in that regard. In this space right now, the industry is changing, and for those that want to create success with it, I truly believe the best way to do it long term is to leverage community groups with this ATM strategy. It just makes the most sense at scale in a busy social media driven world where distractions happen everywhere and attention is so hard to hold.
Right. Now, dude, there's a reason that Facebook is pushing Facebook groups. There's a reason they're all about these online communities. because it really is an important piece to building network marketing business in general. It's important to have community, but even like the social media platforms are realizing the amount of distraction, people's attention, their attention span is shorter than ever. And I think, having a community and making sure that it's a really big part of your system, making sure the leaders are on the same page. And again, you said it in the beginning, going back to basics, it's like creating conversations, whether you create curiosity and someone reaches out to you because you're in Greece, or you're making a TikTok, or you're doing an Instagram story or a Facebook post, whatever, or you're proactively reaching out to people and just saying, hey, listen, I'm doing something new. I'm excited about it. If you're open to taking a look, let me know. If not, no big deal. And if they are open, you simply add them to a group. You tag them in the video. You don't have to, go out there and present, do presentations, be an expert, explain everything. Just use the tools. Don't be a fool. Use a tool and get really good at promoting the groups, promoting the videos. That was the thing that I had to dumb it down for not just my teammates, but for myself, because I think so many of us, especially once you get a little bit of confidence, right? You get a little bit of an understanding of how the compensation plan works. You want to explain the service, the product. You want to explain all the things. But the problem is the average person is going to go, I can't do what you're doing. The average person can go, okay, so all I got to do is like reach out to people and add them to a group if they're open to it and tag them in a video and the video does the talking. It's like, yeah. So sell the thing that explains the thing.